You're in the kitchen.
Hi everybody. Dylan and I are back with another episode of The Drop. We actually just recorded episode 13, and 5 minutes later, we're here recording episode 14 because our 58-minute recording did not record.
Grats.
Uh, so we're back. So sorry, everyone. This is going to be a much more concise version of what we just recorded. Um, yeah, we're just talking all MLP. It's draft day. It's currently 11:58 p.m. And we're just going to run through the draft grades, some quick thoughts. We're going to ramble less, I guess.
I'm actually a
Are
little
you ready, Dylan?
I'm actually a little
Rapid
excited because
fire.
I missed a chance to plug myself with the last recording, but here's take two, and so I'll just start with it before I forget to. But on our last podcast, you asked me who I thought would be the first overall pick in the Challenger draft, and I said Rob Nunnery, and sure enough, it was Rob Nunnery. So it was an amazing prediction.
But do you think that Rob Nunnery is really happy that you were right? Is he like,
No,
go
I'm not.
Dylan, you got it
I'm not.
right? Or is
I'm not happy about it.
I don't think he's too
I,
happy. I think he actually just tweeted something really funny. He said, wait, I want to find the tweet because it was funny, but we're supposed to be doing this ace like quickly. Ugh, it was something like, dang, like really thought I was going to be picked by the Chicago Slice today. It was a joke about not being picked by Ben at 48, um, which I respect that. That's funny. Um, James and I actually did a mock that last night that ended up being Ben, Andrea, Irina, which I think
yeah.
could have happened. And we took Rob at 48. We were like, run it back, BLQK 2021. Um, but yeah, that's definitely one of the notable people who did not make it. All right, Chicago, Ben Johns, Jesse Irvin, Lacey Schneeman, Eric Lang. What's your
Yeah,
draft
I
grade,
give this
Dylan?
team a B plus, and it's kind of carried by Ben. Put any other guy in this spot, and this it's gonna be tough to win with this team, I think. But they've got Ben John, so it's doable.
Yeah, you can never count him out, but it's like deja
Yeah,
vu. It's like we already said all of this. But yeah, like Jesse's a little more passive. Lacey, I like the Lacey pick, because Ben, any women's doubles match that they win is like a huge plus, and I like picking for upside here. Probably a little higher than a lot would have thought Lacey would go, but I totally understand Ben's line of thinking. Really happy for Eric Lang. Amazing guy, love him. I sent him a message like, congrats, and I hope he balls out. This pick makes total sense from Ben because Ben just needs to win men's, and if the mix isn't as good, it's okay. Probably worse Dreambreaker squad though than
yeah,
the last time around. Even Ben was so desperate to trade up in the fourth that he asked the squeeze to trade to just go up, literally 2 spots. But it probably hurts for him so bad because at 2 spots up, he would
yeah,
have had AJ Kohler, and he would have maybe won. AJ Kohler falling so low is, I think, criminal for some of these teams. That they didn't do it. But he landed with Utah, the Utah Black Diamonds, with Annalie Waters, Irina Tereshchenko, Thomas Wilson, and AJ Kohler. And I think
he
Irina
is in a
might do
good
it
spot
again.
to do so. I gave this team an A. Um, this was the team. This was the one team that went, same gender first two picks and turned out all right, but partly, partly luck, like you were saying. Yeah,
It almost doesn't. It almost doesn't count though because it's like when it's so close to the
yeah,
wraparound.
that's true.
But yeah, I mean, I have to be honest. When Annalie took Irina, I was surprised and I was like happy about it because I was like, I I felt more like I had a better chance of beating Annalie and Irina, whereas I was worried she would take like Jade Kawamoto and just grab someone who like will not miss and the entire match is on Annalie's paddle. Whereas like that's what
Yeah,
I was a little more
I
scared of.
remember
But
thinking,
I cannot believe some teams
yeah,
here.
Irina, she can
You
do
go.
it. I remember thinking at this point in the draft, like when Annalie picked Irina, it's like, okay, whoa, she went with a female. Now they're probably gonna have a hard time getting two good guys by the end of the draft. Like this team's looking a little vulnerable right now, but then they got Thomas and AJ who are probably going to do pretty well together. AJ's going to miss a couple events at the first or a couple days at the first MLP event, but he'll be able to play the first day and the other two events of the season. So I think this team's looking pretty good.
Yeah, I really don't think his lack of availability for 2 days justifies falling this low. And these teams just kind of flow into each other. And we missed out on seeing whether or not Anna Lee was going to take Kristen Alshon with Riley Newman doing it with DC. So this team is Riley Newman, Jackie and Jade Kawamoto, and Mr. Christian Alshon. James has dubbed Christian the fourth round pick as the worst pick of in MLP history. He did say because it's like Riley could have had
He could have picked AJ.
Could have had
What if Riley did us all a favor though and realized that if he picks AJ, Anna Lee probably picks Christian, and then Ben winds up with AJ and is in a dangerous spot.
Wait, what do you mean? If Riley picks AJ, then Ben can't have AJ.
Oh, yeah. That was stupid. Never mind. Cut.
That was so dumb. I think it's actually the dumbest thing you've ever said on the podcast, like, or in real life.
It's all right,
the
guys.
dumbest thing you've ever said, Dylan.
I'm a producer now. That was the whole problem with the first one.
You're a producer. The problem wasn't in the first one. Dylan came in as a producer. It was just a mistake. It wasn't really his fault. It wasn't his fault at all. It was just a mistake all around. But yeah, so Dylan, I might need to search out some different on-screen talent. Maybe we should just start over, give it a third try.
Let's just restart. I can't.
Yeah.
There's no coming back from this. There's no coming back from this.
I was like, what is he saying right now? He's saying it with so much confidence. But yeah, I don't like this pick. Riley, Jackie, and Jade is really great. And then, Christian, I think he belonged in Premier probably, but I think this team just needed someone steady and someone a little more what you're getting. And I don't think Christian by the third event, he'll be a lot better, but will he be better than AJ? I don't think so. It doesn't make sense too because Riley's choosing to play with AJ, so he obviously believes in AJ when a lot of people would have played with him. And then to not pick him, I was very surprised because it's like you have like a roughly 50% chance of getting Christian anyways, and on the 2 days AJ can't play. Like if Christian is not on a good challenger team, he's going to be there or someone pretty comparable. So
right.
I didn't like this pick at all. Maybe he wanted more. Maybe Riley didn't want to be like the best singles player on his team or something. So I don't know, but don't really like it. The Brooklyn Aces taking Catherine, Andrea Coop, Hayden, and Tyler.
Yep. I'd give this team a B- probably. And I think a lot of their success is going to depend on the guys. If the guys step up, they could be good. Hayden's going to have to make the transition to the left side of the court in men's doubles. He was playing really strong on the right. So yeah, I think the guys are going to make or break this team. I think Catherine and Andrea are going to be good. They're going to be solid and mixed. And then if the guys step up, they'll be a dangerous team. And if they don't, then maybe not.
Yeah, if it's kind of like I feel like with Chicago with Ben, if Catherine carries this team, not carries, but if this team has some good performances, then that I just think that'd be really, really impressive on Catherine's part. Because you look at this and it's like I love H, but this feels a little high for him. Like Hayden over, Zane, Deckel, Pablo, Jay, Travis, Tyler, AJ, like Colin. You're kind of like, really? Jim Kloss is Hayden's biggest fan. He loved this pick. He thought this was a little low for H probably. But I just, I'm kind of like, wow, I think you got to take risks as a first round female, but this felt like a big one. Hayden's got upside. He's got room to grow, literally and figuratively. So, if that happens, every team is in the mix, but yeah. And then now we have my team, which is the Orlando Squeeze with myself, Andre Diascu, Zane Navratil, and Miss Rachel Rohrabacher, which I know you're going to grill me on a little bit. But this is my second time answering the questions, so I'm more ready. Before we go into my team, I just have to say there was a trade. I knew Orlando was going to take me at 3. and I actually called them. Maybe I'm too high on AJ, but I texted them at like 8:20, and I was like, just so you know, like, you guys are gonna do what you're gonna do. I would be really honored to get taken at 3, but I would be worried that the highest upside left side male available at that spot would be AJ, and I would want him, despite the availability concerns, to have a chance to win. And then they kind of decided to. They were like, "What other GMs have you talked to?" They traded down a little
Yeah.
bit, which I think worked out, but that happened. I was gonna go 3, y'all. I never thought I'd go 3, but I was gonna go 3, but I went
That was a
5.
good trade then. I like your team. I think I mean, I don't know Rachel, and that to me was the most surprising or least predictable pick of the draft just because I hadn't heard of Rachel or haven't seen her play or anything. But you seem to be pretty high on her upside. I like your guys. Zane and Andre are going to be tough, and men's doubles and mixed. So I think team is a solid B plus.
Yeah, I would. You know, we're as good. You've got 3 like very solid picks, and then you've got a high upside pick, and we could not agree on the last female. Everyone kind of had different thoughts, and I think generally when there's disagreement, it kind of comes down to the person of the same gender for that pick. And so this was my pick. I Rachel's not total unknown. 3 other GMs had spoken to her, and I spoke to her for a long time yesterday. And she was kind of on my radar. She's been on my radar. I actually asked her to play at the San Clemente PPA after Vivian David was unavailable. Rachel's a dog. Like, she played at the University of South Carolina in the SEC, like 20-4 her junior year at the bottom of a lineup, like 12-2 in dual matches and doubles. Anyone who's familiar with college tennis knows that in a tough conference, that is really good. And she's got wins over a few premier level players, a lot of challenger players, and I've watched her play. I'm high on her, and I did it. I feel like Zane said this, and I thought it was a good way of thinking about it. Susanna was the safer pick, and I feel bad about it. I'm sure that doesn't mean anything to her, and that's fine. But kind of, I feel like you're playing to get first or last. There's no point really trying to be in the middle of the pack. So, and that was kind of the opinion of the ownership group as well, because they need to do very
Yeah.
well to make Premier. So,
Well,
might as well go for it.
you shot
Shoot
your
your
shot.
shot.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'll either look smart or I'll look stupid. And earlier when I said that, Dylan said that I was going to look
Yeah.
something. So I think I looked smart with Lacey and James, though. So hopefully I keep my track record alive. But just know, if you ever draft me in the future, you're going to get a sus 4th round pick, and it's probably going to be a woman, because I might have an inflated opinion of my ability to do well in women's doubles after Lacey played so well. So we'll see how Rachel goes, but I'm excited. I really like her, and
All right.
we'll see. TBD. I'm glad we have some time, though, and no one is rooting harder for her in Denver than me, probably. If she beats me in Annalee, that's fine. All right. The next team, we have the Bus, which somehow stole J.W. Johnson at the 6th pick. It's kind of scary to have J-Dub falling to 6, especially with the new paddle that he really likes. Oh, we didn't talk about this in the first go, but I am so happy to see J-Dub. Like, he's using this paddle, and he misses a couple shots in a row,
Yeah.
and he's, like, fine.
Yeah.
He's happy still. It just makes me really happy to see it. Obviously, it's kind of scary, but it's like everyone likes him,
Yeah.
so I'm really happy for him. But this team
I
is,
am
you got to be
super
happy about
excited.
that, too. Yeah. No, but YOLO's the best, and
I don't know about that.
Um, all right, this team is J-Dub, Megan Dazan, Maggie Bracha, and Mr. Colin Johns, which is a really exciting men's team. Dylan, are you worried about losing your job?
At first, I was like, well, first of all, I thought J-Dub was gonna go Gabe here, because I know J-Dub and Gabe obviously close. They trained together a lot. They did well at this last MLP. I think J-Dub was pushing for Gabe, so I was a little surprised that they went with Colin, that their team went with Colin. But all of a sudden, that surprise turned into a little bit of fear, because now my spot is on trial. If Colin does really good with J-Dub here, then I could be playing with Ben Johns. No, just kidding.
You're like, let's go bus. Let's go bus. You poor soul. You might be like Eric Lang. You might find yourself as the Eric Lang of the PPA tour. You poor,
Yeah.
poor boy.
No, I think this team's good though. I think they're gonna outgrade this team in A minus. Um, I think their girls. I think their girls are solid. They'll have to figure out how to play with each other because I don't think any of these players really have any experience at all playing with each other. But I don't think it will take long.
I don't know if I've ever seen any of these people talk. I don't know if I've ever
Yeah,
seen any
it's
of these
kind of
people
an odd
talk to
bunch
each other.
to get together. But
You know,
but
I actually don't think I've ever seen any of them speak. I've never seen like Megan and Maggie
right.
speak, actually, I
Yeah,
think.
so it'll be interesting to see how what their chemistry is like, which we all know is a big part of MLP. Having good energy, having good team chemistry, that's certainly a factor. But talent-wise, this team is all there. Got a lot of potential. Got a lot of good players. So A minus.
For sure. I would give this like a B plus probably. I feel like with JW at 6, I would like it to just be a little better, but it's definitely really good. And I just can't wait to see Julie Johnson like, yeah, Colin,
Yeah,
yeah, Colin. You know what I mean? It's just gonna feel wrong leaving her
yeah,
lips, I think. I can't wait to hear it. I think it's gonna be great. And I think one of the best things about this draft is that I and others are gonna get to see Colin Johns versus Hunter Johnson again in singles. I want that so bad because the points when Colin had Hunter on a string were like some of the funniest singles points I ever saw. I don't know if you watched that, but it was hilarious. All right, next team we have Mr. Andiamo with the Arizona Drive with Mr. Andiamo, Vivian David, Dekel Bar, who fell. I was surprised Catherine didn't take Dekel, and then I was surprised that he, fell to here. Um, Dekel, and then Miss Viv Glosman, which is a similar pick
yeah.
to the pick I
And
made.
like you said, there's some time. There's a little bit of time between now and the next few MLP events, so that's going to benefit this team. I think they got good value out of Dekel going in the third round, and I think a lot of it will honestly just depend on if Julian steps up again, which he did at the last season. He was on fire at MLP. If he plays like that again, I think this team has a good shot at a title. Definitely a contender. I would give this team a B plus right now.
I think that feels about right to me. It's kind of, it's Viv, like we said, is going to be passive in women's. It's kind of on Viv Glosman to figure out how to initiate because right now that's not something she's good at, and she's going to need to kind of figure it out because people already know that she has very fast and heavy hands, so you're not going to do that. But yeah, if she's got to get a little better at some things. Same with Rachel, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm excited to watch this team. I, Julian and Dekel, very scary, very scary. Two really good high ceiling
Yep.
mixed players as well. So that's a great team. And now we're at the Ranchers, which I really like this team. We have you, Georgia, Lauren, and Travis. So fun fact, I've been actually wearing my Ranchers hat ever since the end of the Hustlers season of the last season. It would be like yesterday when we practiced. I was wearing my Ranchers hat. It's just like my favorite hat. I really like that hat. But then I found out, there's no way I fall to 8. So now I feel like I can't really wear the hat anymore. So if you want my sweaty hat that I've never washed,
I think I'll take a look
it's
at
yours,
what the
Dylan.
owner offers us at the first MLP event and make a decision after that. But I know you said you were super excited about your team's apparel, your orange. Um,
Oh yeah. Oh my God. No one has cuter team merch than the Orlando Squeeze. Like, sorry, Tim. Sorry, Ranchers. Like, the Orlando
but
Squeeze dominate.
but
I'm so excited.
but
I'm gonna look
do
cute.
you get a pair of cowboy boots?
I already have a pair of cowboy boots. Do I really need another one? I was on the Ranchers. I
New
have
and
my
improved. You're a
Tacovas.
little outdated.
That's good. They're
Yeah, but
classic. They're
they're 1 year
boots.
classic, so not really classic.
Wow. I just want to see a photo of like all of you in cowboy hats, especially like Travis in full Sunday swagger with like a cowboy hat and boots. I just think it'd be the funniest photo. And you too. Oh my gosh, it can go on your like wall in your room,
My cowboy.
of your hats. You need a
Yeah,
Tim needs to get you a super sick cowboy hat.
yeah.
Yeah. Love this team. Travis fell, I think, farther than he should have. Georgia and Lauren can both be a little volatile for sure. But if they are both like not even playing their best, if they're both just solid, really scary team, lots of flexibility and mix, you don't even need to play with Georgia. Maybe probably with Lauren, I would keep Travis and Georgia together because they played so well. Yeah,
Yep,
I
should have
really
at
like
least a
your
couple
team.
titles by the end of the year.
Yeah, right. What's your guess, Dylan? Tell me
Uh,
your guesstimate on titles.
if I'm being safe, I'd say one. If I if we all step up, three.
Yeah, you think three? Yeah, and a super final
Probably.
title probably. What would you do with $60,000? What are you doing with that money? Are
I
you
might
buying a
buy a
Mac?
Mac. Nah, I like this computer though. I'd probably the Anna and Jared and Jason want me to get a Mac because then it would make all this technical stuff easier, I guess. But it's doing good for me so far. I think I would.
Dylan's like a kid in college, like not rocking a
Yeah,
Mac. You're just
I'm just
you're
not
you're
so
you're different.
fast to get on the
I
bandwagon.
respect it.
But
No, that's true. I mean, we know. Trust me, we know. We've seen your Crocs and your
the Crocs came back. The Crocs came back for a while.
we,
They were hot for a while.
the Crocs are. They actually were. I was actually thinking about getting some yellow ones at one point, but thankfully
It'll come
the
back.
desire passed. I go through phases of really wanting like different yellow colored things. Like I bought these yellow rain boots, and I never wore them. I was like, why did I do that? These are so not me. So I do go through phases of wanting yellow stuff. Right now, I kind of want a yellow suitcase, but why do I want that? I don't need that. I have a suitcase. Random side note. All right, next we have Dallas, which has James, Callie, Elise, and Jay. I think of this team as very similar to yours,
Yep,
kind of pick for
they went.
pick. It's pretty
I think
comparable,
so.
would
They
you
they
say?
also went guy, then girl, then girl, then guy. Um, yeah, this team's solid. I think I'd give this team an A minus.
Yeah, if you're an A,
Yep.
this has got to be an A minus, right? Or is this an A plus and your team is an
The
A?
former. Yeah.
The former. Okay, fair. I just want to say, everyone, I was very surprised that James did not take Vivian David here because he has been talking so much about he's going to take Vivian David in the second. He thinks they'd make an unstoppable mixed team. And then in the third, he's going to go Tyra or Jill or Glosman. He's going to get that left side female like later, and it's going to be great. And he's going to get like a good dude in the third. He's like talking about this so much. And meanwhile, I'm like, wow, James is being so open with me. And I told him, I was like, I feel so bad. I feel like I'm keeping secrets from you with like all my thoughts and you're just telling me everything. And he was like, you're in a tougher position being like a woman, like in the first round. It's like, it's all good. Then I hear Dallas takes Callie Smith. I was like, what? I was like, what? I was literally texting my dad last night. I was like, James is 100% going like 8 or 9. Like the left side women are going to be gone because he's going to take them. And then I was like, I don't think I'm going to get one of them unless I trade down. Like, and then he takes Callie, and I was like, he never mentioned Callie. So he's just lying to me. I'm Anna Bright Pickleball in his phone. There's probably other things. Like, is he even injured right now? Did he just want to throw me on another man who haven't?
Like
um, and that just happened to be
he
Dylan.
manufactures an entire draft strategy just to present to you as a decoy. Like the lengths this guy is going to is insane.
I know he's a master manipulator. I'm literally out of my league. I think like I just don't know if I can hang. I don't know. I don't know. I might have to reevaluate some things. Um, okay, the next 3 teams all went 2 of the same gender. We have the Atlanta Bouncers taking Paris Todd, Simone Jardim, Pablo Tejas, and Hunter Johnson. This is kind of the APP plus Pablo. I wonder if someone's gonna call. How in Newport, Pablo got called like Challenger level Chica. What if someone calls him like APP?
Then they're gonna get the
That
They're
would be
gonna
kind
get
of
the bird.
fun. They're gonna get
Yeah.
they're gonna get the same treatment. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
what are your thoughts on
I
this
wasn't
team,
too high
Dill?
on this team, honestly. On paper, I think among the weaker teams, I think it was really risky to go girl second round after you got a girl first round, just because the guys available, it would be tough to get two strong guys. Not that they didn't. I think Pablo's good. I think Hunter can be good at times too. He can get hot, but he's really gonna have to raise his level for this team to be competing for a title.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, Paris took Hunter probably because she does believe him, but also like the relationship aspect, which is, I did the same with taking James with the Ranchers. That wasn't all me, but I was definitely the one pushing for it. So I get it. I hope he plays well, but this is one of those teams. I look at this team and I'm like, they could have had AJ. They could have kind of recovered from the double female strategy if you have AJ and Pablo. And also, it's like, I mean, I look at this team, same with Leia and Etta. It's like, are Paris and Simone favorites against Jackie and Jade, like second and third round picks? I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, Simone is better than the women that would have been available at this point in the third. Oh, but they actually traded up. They had the third pick of the third round, so they could have had like any of these women that have come off the board in the third round. I mean, Simone would probably be my pick still, but I think it's very risky to go two women at this
Yeah.
point in the draft so late. Um, so I would, but this is I think is the scariest Dream Breaker team. So you don't want to go 2-2 with them, but don't really like it. All right, next we have the Bay Area Breakers with Leia, Etta, Mr. Rafa, and Connor Garnett, Mr. MLP, Rafa Hewitt.
Yeah.
Uh,
This team is for me comparable to Catherine's team, where they went girl girl, and it's going to be up to the guys to step up and play at a high level for the team to do well. I'd give this team probably a B minus.
yeah, Leia. Yeah, I would too. Like, I just, I haven't really ever played Connor, or I've seen some of his matches, but I haven't watched
He's good.
too
He's
much.
getting better fast.
I think
Yeah.
he's unreal in singles, super. Yeah, this is another team that's like thankful to have some time, but I look at this men's team and I'm like, you could have had Travis, you could have had Jay. I keep talking about AJ, but you could have just had Travis and Jay, uh, which I would have preferred. We said earlier we're surprised that Travis didn't get taken here. I know Travis really likes Etta, and obviously him and Leia are regular partners, but um, that was kind of a surprise, but worked out for you guys. I think maybe Rafa goes full Rafa mode, and
Yeah.
he's still the draft, right?
MLP Rafa.
Could
You
totally
never
happen.
know. You never know.
Could totally happen. MLP Roth. MLP Roth. Come on now. He'll take you to a title, and you may not make it out of group play once, but
Upside.
upside. Um, it's all about the upside. And no one really good in Dream Breakers. Like, not the best singles player. Just he's good, of course, but he just doesn't get tight, and that's the main issue in Dream Breakers is you just can't get tight. You can't choke points. So
Yeah.
gotta love him. And then Miami going male, which we talked about earlier, it's tough. But you got Federico in the first round, you got Tyson in the second, and no one on my big board would have been higher than Tyson here. So I do understand going male, but it's a big risk. And then you have Tyra Black and Mary Brasha in the
Yeah.
third and fourth rounds.
Yeah. I mean, as I said earlier, if I were in the same spot as Federico, like Tyson would be the one person I consider going guy for, or drafting in the second round, even though it'd mean going guy first round and second round. Just because I think he's good. I think Tyson is arguably a first round. Yeah.
He's so good.
Um,
I think he's definite. I
I think
thought
so
he would
too.
be first.
And the girls, they got Tyra. That's getting better. You know her better than I do, but time again is good for this team. Mary's going to be steady over there, so if Tyra can step up and take over a little bit. I think this team's going to be really good in mixed if Tyson and Tyra figure it out together, and then they're going to be good in singles. So not a bad team overall. I'd give them a or B plus probably.
Yeah, I would do something of the sort. BB plus. I mean, Tyra does not have to get as good, I think, as in mixed really as like Rachel and Vivian do, just because if Tyson is hot and in full takeover mode, he is so scary in mixed. Like, I don't think anyone's like his forehand is insane, like the acceleration and the things. Like he gets me sometimes, and I had no
Yeah.
idea what was even coming. So it's like Tyra needs to stay in points. She's so unattackable. She just needs to keep the ball down decently well, which is an issue. I got hit a lot playing with her the other day when she was on the right, and so much so that I decided I would rather predominantly stack with her on the left just so I don't get hit. So I apologize to Miami. I was not contributing to her development as a right side mixed player, but I had just my nipple had taken too much from Georgia. Georgia was just picking her spot, and I could not handle it. But yeah, this team is kind of one of those thankful for time, and I know Johnny Goldberg and Regina and even Mia will be making sacrifices to get her solid on the right side. So
They're in good
I'm excited
hands.
about this one. Yeah, just real quick, because a few talking points about Challenger. The person that I am most sad for is going to be Mr. Tardio for sure. Love Gabe. I think he's actually been playing really well lately, and I was very sad to see him
Yeah.
fall.
Deserving of a
Um,
premier spot.
but I hope he falls out.
Yeah.
I hope absolutely I would take him over. I would take him over Hunter Johnson. I mean, I would take him over Garnett. Maybe you wouldn't, but I like him over Christian
Yeah.
and Lang as well. Uh, but I hope he kills it in Challenger. Suzanne, obviously, and Jill were the biggest female snubs. Rob Nunnery going first overall. Uh, that's a tough spot to be in because I don't love his team, and I feel like the levels in Challenger are like pretty close between. It's
Yeah.
not like Ben Johns, So see how he does. I'll say the best teams are, I think, Eva Radzikowska, Jana Grechkina, or Jana Newell, I should say, CJ Klinger, and Todd Faw. I really like that team. And then also that's the SoCal Hard Eight, so I know Tim Parks is really happy. And I also like the New York Hustlers with Jill Braverman, Kyle Yates, Sarah Ansbury, and Jaume Martinez Vic. When Kyle is there, if I believe there might be some availability concerns with the first event, but when he's there, this team is really scary. I'm excited to see DJ play as well.
Yeah.
I hope he's healthy. And the most notable snub of the whole MLP is probably Callan Dawson not getting drafted to Premier. Or not getting drafted to Challenger,
Yeah.
not getting drafted at all, I would say. Or
Surprising
Pat
for sure.
Smith.
You said there were quite a bit of people that were in
Yeah.
Challenger this past season, but not this season.
Yeah. Another one is Lee Whitwell, um, which I found surprising. Oh, I mean, in the one we recorded earlier, I did take it upon myself to just trash the Frisco Pandas again. So uh, I don't like their team. Like they needed to take some risks and go high upside to have even the slightest chance of making Premier because they're currently 0-9, and they
Yeah.
definitely didn't do that. Uh, but you know, it'll be interesting. Really excited for the season. My team is happy that there's some time before the first event.
No.
Dylan's is, ready to go right
Yeah.
now. Yeah, let's play tomorrow. But that won't be the case. So sorry, Dill. Maybe come September, my team will be like B plus A minus, and hopefully by the end we're taking you
Yeah.
guys down in the final. So
We'll see.
Yeah.
Probably
You're
not.
like, no. You're like, no, I don't. You're like,
I mean, play.
no.
I mean,
I know what
playing
you're
against
saying,
us is
but
one thing. Beating us is a whole other thing. So
playing against you is really not like some great achievement, Dylan. It's just we simply need to be in the
exactly.
same group, okay? You're tired. I'm tired too. Sorry, guys. Our original podcast was like 25 minutes longer, but I'm waking up in 4 hours to join Dylan in Denver. So
Let's go.
where we're gonna kill it in mixed
Let's
doubles. Let's
go.
go, team. Do we should we not hit any drive, Dylan? Should we only drop for the namesake of
I
our
mean,
podcast?
if this would not be the time to do that, playing in Denver.
Yeah, Denver's not the place. Your drive better be dialed since you're playing singles
That's
tomorrow. I think I'm gonna like try to spend like 4 or 5 hours on the court tomorrow to try to
it's the only
figure out
reason
how
I
to get
play
the ball
singles.
down.
Dial in my drive for mixed doubles.
That's, yeah, especially that backhand. I want
It's
that
gonna be
backhand
cooking.
drive firing, okay? All right, let's go. Okay.
I
Is
think
that all,
so.
Dill? Is that all we got? All right.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for listening, everyone.